Welcome to Kit's Myths and Mysteries, listened to in all 50 states and 39 countries. I'm your host, Kit Crum. Join me as I examine stories of the strange and unexplained that have taken place in a world you thought you knew. I grew up in the tiny town of Cupertino, California. Well, it was little when I was a kid. Anyway, we had a number of earthquakes, and the word was the big one would take out San Francisco. About 30 years ago, I moved to Ashland, Oregon, and all the talk was about that Cascadian subduction zone quake that would take out the coast from Washington state 700 miles down to portions of California. But the big one probably will not be an earthquake at all. I was doing some research for my latest book and discovered that the date that Oregon became a state, 1859, was also the date a solar flare struck the Earth, the effect worldwide. In Oregon, telegraph service between Portland and Oregon City began in 1855, Corvallis in 1856, and in Jacksonville the same year. On September 2nd, 1859, an incredible storm of charged particles sent by the sun slammed into Earth's atmosphere, overpowered it, and caused havoc on the ground. Telegraph wires, the high-tech stuff of the time, suddenly burst into flame, not just in the United States, but across Europe. Colorful auroras, normally visible only in polar regions, were seen as far south as Cuba and Hawaii. Now, Earth's magnetic field normally protects the surface of the planet from some storms like this, but in 1859, the planet's defenses were totally overwhelmed. Over the past decade, similar but less powerful storms have likewise busted through, giving scientists insight into what will eventually happen again. The outlook is not rosy. The solar storm of 1859 was 3 times more powerful than the one that cut power to an entire Canadian province in 1989. Experts say if it happened today, like during 1859, it could set us back 200 years. Those telegraph connections I mentioned in Portland, Oregon, and Oregon City, and Corvallis and Jacksonville were all fried. The Portland Telegraph Station reportedly caught fire. Also, trains across the state came to a halt when the tracks were electrified. What's commonly referred to as the Northern Lights, or the Aurora Borealis, could be seen from anywhere in the state. And it appeared not just in the sky, but for many it could be seen near ground level. A large CME, which emanates from the sun, is a low-frequency event. To have an impact on anything, it requires a long antenna. Our power lines are the perfect antenna for receiving the energy. The big issue is that this can destroy the large transformers. There are no spares of these, and it takes years to get a new one built. There's a precedent for concern right there. In 1859, a large CME caused power surges in telegraph wires strong enough to start fires in stations. Known as the Carrington event, it caused minor damage because we really had no electronic infrastructure at the time. Back in 1859, our electro-technology was in its infancy. But what if we were hit by that same size flare today, the same magnitude? What are the chances? There was a similar solar flare 62 years later, and then again in 1921, then 1991, and 2012, then another one in 2017, and that's the one that just missed the Earth. That was April 4th. You can prepare for this with a Faraday cage. It can be made of copper. It can be made of aluminum. Even a galvanized trash can can be a good Faraday cage. This is Kit Crum. Thanks for listening.